All right, back with another vinyl unboxing, and once again we have a brand new box. I got this a couple days ago. This is going to be Foo Fighters, but here we are. So let's dig into this guy and see what we got here. So I know this one, it's an all-white vinyl. The record is very white. It's not the Beatles. Looks like the Beatles, not the Beatles. So let's see if I can get a focus on this. But essentially, we've got, you can see the band's logo there, or the title of the album there. There you go, Foo Fighters. Very hard to make out, but there it is. So yeah, this one, the 2023 release, and a little bit about this album. So the podcast coming up soon has an episode called Best Comeback Albums. Spoiler alert, this album's going to be featured on that episode. We did a most disappointing releases. Follow-up, most disappointing follow-up albums is the last top 5 we did. And this top 5 is going to be our individual top 5 best comeback albums. So for me, this album, I don't want to get too into it because we'll go into more depth on the actual show, on the actual episode. But yeah, the album before this one was called Medicine at Midnight, and sorry, Dave, but I think that's probably the worst Foo Fighters album. It was not good. It was way too poppy for me, and just not a lot of highlights on that album. And then a couple years later, Taylor Hawkins died, and I really wasn't sure what the future of, I don't think anyone was sure what the future of Foo Fighters was. So, I think, and I said this at the time, I totally would have respected Dave Grohl if he just hung it up at that point and said, I've lost 2 of my closest friends in this industry. Not to mention, I think a year before this album was created, he lost his mom. So his mom died, Taylor Hawkins died. I think they actually died in the same year. Taylor Hawkins and his mom died in the same year. So there's a kind of a revolving theme on this album about loss. But anyway, getting back to my expectations for this album, I didn't know if it was going to even come out. I didn't know what the future of the band held. So when I heard they were releasing a new album, based on Medicine Midnight, and quite frankly, there hadn't been a ton of great releases since I think it was 2012 or 2011 was Wasting Light, and that was a really great album. But since then, they'd kind of been on the decline, so I wasn't expecting much from this album. I didn't know what the drums were going to be like. I think I heard before it came out that Dave Grohl was doing all the drums, so I had high hopes for that. But just from a songwriting perspective, I wasn't sure what to expect. But yeah, this album is awesome, start to finish. It's a fantastic album. I'm gonna say it's probably my second favorite Foo Fighters album at this point. Color and the Shape from '95, I think, is still my favorite, but this is really good. So again, there's a major theme of white here. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show you here, but I'll take pictures and post them. But I mean, you can't even tell, you can't even read this, but there are lyrics in here. I promise. There's lyrics. It's gray on white, and I just showed it to you upside down, so that's not going to be helpful either. So it's, again, I think the theme of loss and just, it's kind of throughout the album. So this album is white vinyl. So you've got a white insert, and let's take a look at the vinyl itself. It's the first time I'm seeing it too. Yeah, that is white. There are some shades of kind of gray in here that I can see. So it's almost like a design of white and gray, but I'll try to get it on camera here. Let's see if we can get it on camera at all. Let's see. So let me see if I can focus on that. Yeah, you can see there's like a little bit of gray in there. Almost like a smoky effect. So that's cool. Yeah, very cool vinyl. I look forward to playing this one. It's been a while since I listened to it front to back. Again, this came out in 2023, and I will say there are two other albums that came out in 2023 that are better than this. One of them is Metallica, which, if you know me, you know that that's no surprise. That's going to be my number one. And then Baroness released an album in 2023. Stone, I believe, is the name of that album, which was really, really good. Second favorite album. But this one, I mean, I think this came out in spring of 2023, and it was in rotation nonstop in my car and at home and all over the place. So yeah, again, best comeback albums. Be on the lookout for this on that episode. Trust me. I'll have a lot more to say about it when we get to that. We'll dig into some of the tracks and stuff like that. So tune into that episode when it's released. I think it should come out around April 13th. So I'll be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, that's it for now. So yeah, somewhereintimepodcast.com. Find us there. Check out all of our episodes and all that good stuff. Until then, we'll see you next time.